shit. Oh my god, that was so epic. I think that's it. There he is. You guys ready? Let's pull it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh. Hey! And JB's on there! 600! 600! Yes! Yay! 600 mile time. That would be just... So here we are, back with the real supercharger. Okay, we are on the test track.
So I'd recommend putting your head on the headrest.
Okay.
There he's ready.
Nope. Yep. Oh. Oh, there it goes. Oh. Oh, that never gets old either. We have the post-study production cars here.
Wait, what?
Yeah, oh yeah, you watch it.
Well, why is he gonna throw it?
I don't know, but we're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Just use a sledgehammer. What?
Well, maybe that was a little too hard.
I'm Eric, otherwise known as DÆrik, here in Shanghai at Gigafactory 3.
Ballapalooza. It's like tricks.
3, 2, 1.
Will it wipe is the big question of the day.
Will it wipe?
Generic cornflakes.
Whoa! It's raining cornflakes! Oh. This is trippy. Look, there's nothing here.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. Today is Sunday, July 10th, 2022, and I'm David. This is Eric, and together we are DÆrik, and we're back once again to talk with you about everything that's new in the world of Tesla. And I know it's been a couple of weeks. We've been busy the last month. Well, actually, the past year. But we are back to just go over what's new.
Sorry, I was adjusting the fan, but here I am. Hopefully...
we're ready for the Tesla news, so I am buckled in and ready to go tonight.
Hopefully the audio is working. We tested everything except for one thing that's not working, but it's okay. We'll deal with that afterwards. None of you will even know.
Next live stream. Yeah.
So that's different.
Okay.
That's not it.
Next live stream.
Sorry, it's a secret.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome everybody. It's been a few weeks. We've been awfully busy. Hopefully everybody has been well. But we're gonna get right into it. We do have some special announcements at the end. So be sure to hang out till the end and throw a like on the video if you're having fun. It's been a while. Oh, Kit's already bored. Cool. Anyway, let's just jump right into the news because we have several things to talk about. First and foremost, Elon has pulled out of buying Twitter. So you probably already heard about this the other day. It actually caused quite a ripple for a bunch of different things. One, a lot of people are saying he has no basis to pull out of his Twitter acquisition deal. Now, Sawyer had kind of a good breakdown on this, and basically Elon cited material breach of multiple provisions of the agreement, and actually even has that all listed out right there of exactly like what happened. The biggest thing is Twitter's process for auditing of spam and fake accounts. So there's some interesting reads here. Definitely follow Sawyer if you want some updates on that. But I do find it interesting because... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's not directly Tesla. We're talking about Elon Musk and Twitter, but how does this affect Tesla?
Bingo. Green.
Yes, the stock price has been shooting up recently.
The stock price shot up upon news that he would be canceling the Twitter acquisition deal. Biggest rationale being he can make sure he devotes his time to Tesla and already the other companies he has. And a lot of people were worried about this, but I mean, as you can see here, this was July 8th, shortly after the acquisition deal was canceled. Right then, it jumped up 2.5%, and it's already gone up another 2.5% over the weekend after hours. So maybe Monday, which would be July 11th, we'll be able to see some 800s again. But I kind of understand where people are coming from. Everyone wanted Elon to make sure he focuses on Tesla, boring company, SpaceX. The man is spread very thin. Do I think he needed to add Twitter to his entire portfolio? No. But it's not my money. But I am glad to see that he has kind of abandoned that deal, because that way we just don't have to worry about it. And now the Tesla stock can skyrocket once again. Let's see. Diego said, am I hearing background music? No, but that would actually be a pretty good idea.
I don't think
Jot that down.
Hopefully.
That's actually a really good idea. But anyway, so stock price, everything. I guess a little bit of the weekend news could be because of, and same with the price hike a little bit, is Tesla did talk about their deliveries for Q2. And so they actually produced 258,000, delivered 254,000, and really only 4% were subject to lease accounting, which is quite interesting. Now, SNX has always been a lot higher for leasing, just because a lot of people use them for businesses and such like that. It's a kind of a tax loophole, but anyway, it's there. So 3% for 3 and Y. But we will hear more about all this on July 20th, and we will be live for the Q2 financial results and Q&A webcast. So, that being said, also on August 4th, they will be having the investor meeting down in Austin. Well, your boy's been invited. So I emailed them the requested documentation of proof of ownership and all this and that and my ID. I have not heard anything back, but I should be down there, so that will be kind of fun to see.
You have to take your hat again.
Oh, yeah, I need to fix it. It kind of fell apart.
Oh, well. Yeah.
But I will be...
You can just have the Tesla logo and stuff.
Definitely. I'll definitely be going if... they accept my extra documentation they had requested.
Yeah,
I don't see why not.
You got invited. All they have to do is say, yeah, you're coming. You're a shareholder, and you got invited, so I'm sure you...
I haven't even looked at airfare or any of that, but it should be a good time. It should be fun. But we will be live July 20th for the Q2, and then I won't do the investor meeting on August 4th live. I'll be there, though, recording a video, and... we'll post that shortly after.
It's just that when we try to do live events and stuff like that, usually the Wi-Fi is not good, or everybody else is trying to do a live stream and it's just overloading the network.
Well, when I was at the Austin factory last time, it was not good.
Yeah.
So I'm not expecting it to be good this time for a live stream.
It's not going to be nearly as big of a crowd. I mean, at
Definitely.
that meeting, but it's not going to be. Yeah, we'll talk about it and stuff. But maybe we can have a pregame or a postgame or something like that, and talk about it. We'll see what we can put together. But like you said, you can record what you do, and we'll talk about it afterwards.
Definitely. Other news. So, David. I mean, it's not just David, but you have been a very big vocal person about this.
Yeah, we've been complaining for years, really. Basically, back when Tesla brought out Autopilot 2, back at the end of 2016, they split up the Autopilot package into Enhanced Autopilot and Full Self-Driving package, and we liked how they split that up. But then after a while, a couple years later, they dropped the Enhanced Autopilot, and they made it so that a basic Autopilot package was included for free or baked into the price of the car, but they totally got rid of the Enhanced Autopilot package. And so if you wanted any of those additional features, you had to pay, upwards of $10,000 to $12,000 to get those, features such as auto lane change and summon and smart summon and auto park. And to me, it's like, that was a really bad move to split it or to require people to pay that much just for a few of those features. And so we've been complaining for years because Tesla, they rolled out Enhanced Autopilot to the rest of the world, and it was still available in like Australia and Europe, but they took it away from the United States, and that was a big complaint we have. So as many of you know, they brought it back several weeks ago at the end of Q2, and they made it so that you can get the Enhanced Autopilot package again for $6,000. Now that is more expensive than what we paid for it, back at the end of 2016 when it was $5,000, but that's not too bad of an increase considering that it's a pretty functional package, and it's a lot more functional than what it was back at the end of 2016. Still not perfect, but we are glad to see that it's back.
When you look at the packages, though, Enhanced Autopilot gives you a lot of what people wanted the most at $6,000 rather than $12,000. So, like the Enhanced Autopilot right now will give for $6,000. Will give you Navigate on Autopilot, Auto Lane Change, which is a huge one in our books.
Especially on road trips. Yeah.
Auto Park and Summon, which we don't really use a whole lot of, as well as Smart Summon, which we use very occasionally. Really, the $6,000 Delta will get you all the functionality of basic autopilot and enhanced autopilot, as well as traffic light and stop sign control with auto steer on city streets coming soon. So really, right now, I think a lot of people are going to, I don't want to necessarily splurge, but they would probably add the enhanced autopilot at $6,000 because that's much easier to spend than $12,000.
And with that being said, we noticed they still, last we looked, don't have a subscription of this. So
correct.
Like full self-driving subscription, well, it's $12,000 if you pay all at once, or $200 a month if you want to subscribe to it. We haven't seen that they've released an enhanced autopilot subscription. That's something we'd be more interested in seeing. But
what do you think they would charge for something? $100. Okay.
That, just because it's half the price.
Yeah.
And okay, with all this said, we've been complaining for years. They took it away. We wanted it back. Are we going to buy it? I don't know.
Well, so I guess we'll talk about. I guess this is a great segue. Perfect. Our Model X. We still don't have it. That's not the big news. So if you were guessing that in the chat, I am sorry to disappoint. That is not the big news. We did not get our Model X yet.
Not yet.
But that being said, we got such a great price on the Model X because we ordered it how many days?
548 days ago.
We're not counting or anything. But because we ordered it so long ago, and I'm really hopeful to make some beta videos and stuff like that, I think I'm still going to stick with FSD on that vehicle. Also, FSD on that is locked in at $10,000. Whereas if I paid for enhanced autopilot at $6,000, then it's only a $4,000 jump, and it makes it doesn't make sense. It makes it a little easier for me to convince myself as well as you, I think.
Yeah. So definitely going to keep it on the X, which is planned for delivery soon. But are we going to get it for the Model S? I don't know. Because, I haven't been driving that much. I mean, I use it, especially on road trips, like taking the Model S. But even then, it's like $6,000. It's like, I don't know. It's like, I really like the auto lane change feature, but to me, it's still not worth the $6,000.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me...
Just for a couple road trips a year.
Right.
If I was on the road every day and use it, maybe worth it. But I could maybe stomach the $100 a month subscription. But $6,000, I don't know. I'm glad they brought it back, but I don't think we're going to get it.
Yeah. And I honestly think once we get the X and maybe some other vehicles, Maybe we don't need 2 other S's in the household. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But for now, the X is going to be our big road trip vehicle and everything. So that it doesn't really make sense to have it on both cars.
Yeah. And with that said, too, we do still have the S100D from
Exactly.
2017, which we did purchase full self-driving. It does not have the full self-driving beta yet, but we are scheduled next week to get the cameras upgraded finally on that, which should allow us to turn on the full self-driving beta.
Definitely. Real quick, Pierre, thank you for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate that. It said, shipped my black Model S to Arizona to have the car wrapped with satin PPF for $5,000.
Wow, that's
a lot better than the $12,000 quoted in
I
Wisconsin.
remember several weeks ago when he was asking us about prices and we're discussing
That's
it.
crazy.
And that's insanely expensive. And it's amazing you can send your car halfway across the country to get it wrapped and save so much money. But good for you, yeah.
Yeah, now, real quick, Pierre, how much was shipping the vehicle? Because I heard shipping costs can be anywhere between like $800 to like $1,500. But even if it's $1,500, that's still a total of $8,000 instead of $12,000. Still a great deal. I can't believe it was $12,000.
Except there's not any. I mean, I'm sure he checked around, got other quotes, but it's amazing that he has to ship it that far away to get it wrapped.
Yeah.
But good for him for finding a deal, and I'm sure he'll enjoy it once he gets it back.
Yeah. In my opinion, $12,000 is ridiculous. I've never seen PPF that expensive. Yeah. So good on you for getting it for $5,000. That's really awesome. Okay. So next up, real quick, I wanted to talk about this. And thank you, Brent. Just brought it up. North Carolina. That's our next topic of discussion because this is so stupid. I went ahead and tweeted this out earlier. If you don't follow me on Twitter, drop a follow. But Amy's comment is perfect. I don't know if you're here, Amy, but if you are, I love it. Our WTF of the day last week was a new bill in North Carolina proposes any free public car charger must also install a free public gasoline and diesel pump. And so this whole bill would allocate $50,000 to destroy and remove any public car chargers that don't comply. It's absolutely crazy.
Insane, yeah.
I don't understand this at all. Even if you hate EVs, I just don't understand. It blows my mind what some people would do.
But also to allocate money to destroy
existing
chargers.
It's wasting money.
Just because you don't like it doesn't mean you should have the ability to go and destroy it.
Yeah.
It's just like, we don't complain, like grocery stores have been offering, 10 cents off per gallon for years, for decades.
Oh yeah.
Do
we should get that then off electricity.
Yeah, it's just like, but it's just like, these are jealous people, I think. They're upset with the price of gas and all this stuff and people getting free electricity, but that doesn't mean you should be able to go and destroy somebody else's stuff just because you're not getting something for free. If you got an electric car, you could be using it.
I just can't believe it's allocating $50,000 of public funds to remove them. Yeah. So it really, in essence, it's wasting public funds.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
The whole thing is crazy.
But it's not going to pass.
I certainly hope not.
I can't believe that.
And for all we know, this is that whoever's sponsoring that bill, this is going to be kind of like what they're using as bad publicity is good publicity kind of thing. And people are still talking about it. But I wouldn't want people talking about me like we've been talking about them because that's just crazy. I can't imagine why somebody would.
No, I didn't read the full text there, but if you put in the pumps, do they actually have to have tanks and stuff to serve the? Could you just put in a gas pump without any gas?
Mean, maybe.
Sorry,
I didn't get that.
Put in the gas pumps. Didn't say anything in the bill about needing to provide.
I don't think it actually physically said you have to
I don't think there's any chance this would happen anyways.
Anyway,
There's so much stuff that needs to be going, environmental studies and stuff. You can't just install gas stations everywhere. I mean, it's not it can't pass.
It's just crazy, and it just goes to show you, haters gonna hate. Yeah. And next up, real quick, David actually for my birthday this year got me a CCS adapter. I think we talked about that a little bit on one of the other live streams. We haven't been able to test it out yet, but we will be doing a video on that and kind of giving our take on CCS. Now, I'm going into this with an open mind. I want to make that very clear. I don't want people thinking I'm just going to trash it right off the bat. That being said, I'm a little worried about how it's going to go and how much it's going to cost. It'll be an experience, and we're going to document that and make it a video. Should be fun.
Yeah, and I think, definitely we don't want to bag on CCS. It's definitely nice to see the
More options, the better.
Yeah, they're growing. We're showing up all over the place on the map. And the only thing is when I look at it, it's like, oh, this was EVgo, this one's Electrify America, this one's another company, and it's just we're not going to be able to do it like with Tesla, where you just go and you don't need an app or anything like that. We're going to need an app to test this out. It's not difficult, but I don't want to have to install half a dozen apps
That
to be able to charge a car at CCS. So we're not going to plan on relying solely on CCS going forward. Again, we typically charge from home all the time via solar, and when we go on road trips, we do still have superchargers available, but it will be nice to have CCS as an option, especially like in southern Colorado. They don't have as much supercharger network coverage as we could prefer, but there are some CCS adapters across southern Colorado, which I could definitely see us using over the coming year. So definitely good to have it. We'll test it around first, do a video, and then we'll plan on using it going forward when we are in those places of the country that don't have supercharger coverage.
Yep. But I am very excited to try it and actually kind of give our firsthand experience on how it works. I've read a lot of stories, but I want to try it firsthand so we can know if those stories were bogus or not.
And again, for those of you who don't know or aren't up to speed on it, basically, some newer cars, not everyone, has the necessary hardware, so you can use Tesla's official CCS adapter. Currently, Tesla's not selling this adapter in the United States, but they do sell it in South Korea. Big difference. So they do sell it in South Korea. We were able to get one and get it delivered here, and so we're going to try it out. It won't work on our S100D, but it will work on the long-range 2022 Model S, and it will work on our Model X once we take delivery of that. And and we're still waiting. There's no word on when Tesla will be offering it officially in the United States and when they're going to be doing the upgrades for older cars. Because in Europe, when Tesla offered the CCS adapter, they allowed the older S and X to have an upgrade, and it was really fairly priced upgrade so that you could be able to take advantage of CCS charging. But still no word on when that will be available in the United States.
Yeah. Colorado Model Y, welcome back. Great to see you again. Said, plus EVgo, Electrify America, and some others require a monthly subscription for the lower rates, which I hate.
It's just so many.
Like the option for CCS, like David said, when an area is limited.
Yeah, and even then, it's like they have all these different pricing schemes. Because I was looking at EVgo, and it's like, well, here's the price if you don't pay anything. Here's the price if you want to charge like a couple times a month. Here's the price if you want to, there's different levels, and it's just like it's confusing. You know? It's like, why not just go plug in and it works? And
but like
we'll test it
we
out.
definitely
we should do a comparison too.
Totally.
At least on some of the networks, probably not all of them, because there's just so many of them.
Yeah.
And then there are some free options available too, but it's just not the same as just being able to go and plug in and it works.
We definitely won't be doing any of those subscriptions for cheaper rates because we don't utilize them. Mm-hmm. We've been having some fun with the utilized word lately. Sorry, inside joke. But we don't really use them enough to make a subscription model worthwhile because we do most of our charging at home. But I am curious to see what those charging differences and everything will equate to. So we'll throw a video together on that because I'm excited to see how it looks.
Yeah, and I have heard some reports from other people who have done road trips, and some of them like relied 2/3 on superchargers and 1/3 on CCS, and some of them were actually ending up cheaper because Tesla has jacked up the prices at a lot of superchargers recently, and if you're having to pay for it, sometimes it can definitely be cheaper to have an alternative.
Yep. Next up, so we recently got the newest update, 2022.20.5, and it brought some pretty cool things for us, and as well as some things for some like legacy owners.
And we noticed that some other features have gone away.
Yeah. So let's kind of jump into that real quick. So this is just on notateslaapp.com. They actually have software updates and features and all kinds of cool stuff for release notes.
Yeah.
But it's cool kind of how they break things down as like what model got what. Now Legacy S and X finally got the car colorizer. It's definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, because we've had that for the 2022 Model S for several months, but it's nice to see it's finally available for older cars.
Yep, definitely. You get some new navigation, voices. Now for us, we now have the cabin camera is active and will pay attention and alert us of inattentiveness.
Yeah, and you thought you noticed a difference just in that yesterday when we were driving.
Yeah, so normally it's about every minute or so that it asks me to hold the steering wheel or jog it a little bit so it knows I'm paying attention. But with this cabin camera after the update, it felt like it was like 3 to 5 minutes. Now, I didn't time it, but it felt like it wasn't asking as much of me if I was looking forward, which this I absolutely love. Because sometimes every minute to get the thing, the pop-up to hold the wheel or whatever, even though I'm like resting my hand on it or something, it can get kind of annoying. So I did really appreciate this. Some other things, now speed assist is not relevant in the US, so that's why I really like this website, because they really break it down. The other big thing for us is going to be the seatbelt system enhancement. So it builds upon the crash protection, basically. So it's kind of interesting. They'll now begin to tighten earlier.
Yeah, just improved safety features there.
Yep. And then adaptive suspension. This is kind of cool because this will remember ride heights based on not only your Tesla, but other Teslas in certain geolocations, and will automatically raise and lower before you get to different locations to make sure that it is a comfortable ride. And then the last but certainly not least thing that we got is green traffic light chime without having full self-driving.
Yeah, so that's a nice little feature if you like to have that. We definitely noticed it yesterday when we were driving, and it's like, oh, it's back.
Yeah, it's kind of nice that we don't need to have FSD anymore for that. I really appreciate that. Now, we did notice something is missing.
Yeah, so basically we're on a drive up in the mountains yesterday, and we wanted to see, we're going downhill, let's see how our energy efficiency is. And this is something we talked about months back, where they still don't have the button on new S and X for you to be able to turn on the energy graph. But there was a way that you could use the microphone button and say something like open energy graph, and it would pop up on the screen. It wasn't perfectly formatted, but you could see it and you could use it, and you can see what your efficiency was. So we tried that yesterday, and Eric tried it probably a dozen different ways, and it just was not working. And I did a little research, and it looks like that was removed in the 2022.20.5 release.
Which is weird, because we don't really know why. I mean, it never fully opened, and it did take up the entire screen. The sides were cut off, so you didn't get your labels. So perhaps they removed it for now and are going to work on the resizing and everything and bring it back as a button or something at a later date. But it was nice to have the energy graph. We've had a lot of fun with that, going up mountains and trips and stuff.
It helps you estimate, what percentage you're going to arrive at and how much faster or slower you need to drive. And so it's kind of bad that they're taking that away. So anybody right now who gets the update, you're going to lose out on that energy graph, and hopefully you're not going to be needing that on any of your road trips.
Yep.
Until they bring it back.
Real quick, John, thank you for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate that. He said, I bought that CCS adapter from China a month ago. Got it 4 days ago. Works great up to about 180 kilowatts. Just have it for backup. Works great. And see, that's kind of like our thing is we want it for backup because we are going to be doing a lot of road trips, and some places we really would like to go are very limited on charging. So this will make sure that we don't have any issue. Yeah. Pretty much.
Just because we have seen CCS is being expanded across the state. And with that being said, we read recently that Rivian actually opened up several CCS
down south
stations in Colorado. However, it sounds like they're doing something different. They have CCS, which is like the standard in the United States, but they're still locking it so that non-Rivians can't use those. And so it seems odd. So we'll go try one out and see, like, we've got the adapter, but it probably won't allow us to charge. But it's just kind of weird that they would bring out the standard adapter and then not let cars with that, the standard connector CCS, and then not allow all CCS cars to use it. Yeah,
very interesting indeed.
Okay, and next on the list, I guess we'll just do a quick solar update. We haven't done one of those in a while. July's been okay. We've had kind of some sun in the morning, and then we've had some typical afternoons, thunder showers and stuff like that. But we're still doing really good for the month of July. I think if you look at the graph, we've actually had more solar every day than what our household usage has been. So we have a surplus so far a month. We have generated 1,021 kilowatt hours, but we've only needed to use 653, and so that's 156% offset just for the month of July. And in 2022, we're doing pretty good overall. We have so far a surplus of 1,861 kilowatt hours for the year, and that's 114% offset. And it's good that we have that surplus because our utility lets us roll those excess production numbers over, and they'll just continue to cover our bills in the months when we don't generate as much. And for lifetime, we're coming up in almost 4 years since we got the panels installed, the first set of panels, and we are currently at 103% offset. We are just shy of 100 megawatt hours cumulative production, and we should be hitting that number here later in July, maybe a couple weeks. And so definitely still happy with our system. Again, we've had some clouds and stuff this past month or so, so not as good production I think as last year, but it's nice. I'm not going to complain though, because it's cooled things down for the most part. We've had some hot weekends here, and today it was up in the upper 90s, so definitely don't mind getting a little bit of shade if it'll cool things down a little bit. But one other thing to mention is that any of you who are still using the older version 3.x of the Tesla app, you will now see this warning saying that Tesla will no longer support the older version after August 31st. And I'm a little disappointed in that because while Tesla did bring out the version 4.0 of the app last year, they got rid of all the very useful graphs that I liked, which let you instantly look at the month. Like if you pull up one of the monthly production solar graphs, you could instantly look at the one graph and see, like, here's how much solar we produced, here's how much we used, all in one graph. And there's no way to get this information in the version 4 graph. It's like you have to go to this graph, then you have to go to this one, then you have to go to this one. You have to go to at least four different graphs to get what you used to be able to get in one. So I'm really disappointed they're getting rid of this feature. We were hoping they would bring it back in 4.0, but we're still not seeing it. But anyways, you might see an alert if you are using still 3.0. I upgraded my phone right away, but I still have a tablet that has the 3.0 version, 3.x, just because I like those graphs. They allow me to instantly get the detail I need. But a little disappointed, but nothing we can really do about it.
Yeah, hopefully eventually.
Well, so Eric mentioned earlier about the Model X.
Yep.
We have been waiting approximately 548 days.
And our current ETA?
It's changed. Probably like a
changed.
dozen times since that date. Currently, it hasn't moved, which is good for the past couple of weeks. We currently have an estimated delivery date range of July 24th to August 28th. So it could be within the next 2 to 6 weeks, we might finally be seeing our Model X, which we ordered back in January of 2021. So we're
Very
definitely
exciting.
looking forward to that. We've been waiting for the car, as we said, 548 days. And
Yeah.
we're just looking forward to it because we're going to need it for various things, but especially road trips around Colorado in the coming months.
That's basically it for the news, Tesla news. I want to talk about one other thing before we jump into the special announcement. I tweeted about it. Again, if you don't follow me on Twitter, jump on there because it's a blast. And anyway, Fisker. A lot of EV
You forgot
owners.
the special announcement.
No, we're gonna do that after.
Oh, at the end of the. Oh,
Yeah.
because I'm like, I was already like. Oh,
Yeah, I know.
and then
I'm gonna wait for the special
you
announcement
gotta
till
wait till the
after.
end of the show. Okay,
Yeah. I think we need at least 100 likes to be able to do the special
Literally,
announcement. We're gonna hunt for that. Anyway, so Fisker is asking Ocean One reservation holders that put down $250,000 already for an additional $5,000 non-refundable deposit to secure a launch edition vehicle for delivery by September of 2023. Only 5,000 available. Now, I tweeted about this and said, in my opinion, that's crazy. What do people think? And it looks like only 8% of you said it's okay, whereas 42% of you said no, run away, and 50% of people said just buy a Tesla.
Yeah.
Now, I listed out some issues I have with this. Fisker only has about $1 billion in cash, and they burn roughly $100 million per quarter. They're not even building their own cars. They actually have subcontracted that out to Magna in Austria. Production is scheduled to start November 2022, but based on current conditions, it wouldn't surprise me if it does get delayed. And their financial statement indicates they will only have $200 million left at the end of the year. Under their business outlook, it says Fisker's projecting total of these items to year end December 31st of 2022 to cost about $715 to $790 million. Well, if you only have $1 billion in cash as of right now, and you're not generating income, which they are not, the quick math says you're only going to have about $200 million before you start delivering cars, potentially. And I am very concerned with this. I hate to say it, but Fisker doesn't have the greatest track record. The last one ended in a bankruptcy. I really wish this would work out because the Ocean doesn't look bad and we could really use some new EVs to market. But as someone outside looking in, I don't think this looks very great. So apparently a lot of people agreed with me, because that's kind of how it went. I don't know. I personally am not holding my breath on it, just because, like, they're not even building their own cars. They're contracting that out. So after everyone gets contracted out, everyone's taking a little piece of that pie. They're not going to end up with very much money. So, yikes. But yeah. I guess that was kind of it. I just wanted to talk about that and kind of
with
just...
that said, we are still looking at other AVs.
Oh, yeah.
We do still have a reservation for the
Rivian.
Been waiting for that. Hopefully we'll get some... We might have some news on that here. Eric's been chatting with Rivian, and hopefully we'll have an update on that soon. But we are still open to trying other EVs. We've been having orders in for other EVs for months or years, and so we're hoping we can still get some of these other ones. We haven't had any luck. We originally were looking at the F-150 as well too, just to try it out, but we haven't had any luck finding one of those. And we did have a reservation for that, but because we couldn't be guaranteed they weren't going to have a dealer markup.
Yeah, so the dealer I had it through called me about it earlier this year, and when I had asked, is it going to be sold at MSRP, they originally had said yes. And then when they called me back like a week or two later to try to like finalize the order, they said no. It would have an additional $5,000 to $10,000 that I would have to put up as soon as I like officially order the vehicle, and they would keep that. That's all their free money for doing nothing really, and I wouldn't know when my vehicle would be delivered either. So I'm not going to give someone $5,000 to $10,000 and just let it sit on it. So I canceled that reservation, and I actually have reached out to a bunch of Ford dealerships who have ads on cars.com or whatever, and they list the vehicle as being available on their website. I've contacted them, and in most cases, I will say they have told me that that's a demo vehicle. It can't be sold for 6 months. Then why is it listed as available on your website?
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense. But they so happen to have a couple extra that they're willing to sell me, but they're going to go for significantly more than MSRP. And when I've inquired, the cheapest one that I have found over MSRP was, what was it, 20 or 30? It was like $30,000 over MSRP.
Somewhere like 40 to 75 or something.
Exactly. Most are like between 50 plus over MSRP. And it's the classic dealer model bait and switch. And I just don't play that game. If you advertise a car on your website for a price, if it's not available, don't put it on there. And it's one thing if they would have told me, hey, sorry, it just sold. I agree. That's fine.
There was one.
Where
we had to wait like over the weekend while they said they were waiting to see if the original purchase was going to go through, and it did. So we missed out on that one because
they were selling it at MSRP too, which would have been amazing. But I just I have such a hard time with this, and I have phone calls, I have texts from all kinds of dealers all across the United States saying, yeah, we have one, it's ready to go right now. What happened to the people that pre-ordered all these cars? If they have that many pre-orders, that shouldn't be happening. Whatever. Anyway, I just don't like the whole bait and switch thing. I'm not about to spend 30 to 50K over MSRP. That is stupid. Oh, and see, David said a dealer by me has a Rivian for sale at double MSRP.
Wow, yeah.
And that's the other thing. I have looked at buying a Rivian private market, like private sale. And it's too high. It just doesn't make sense. I want one, but if I have to spend 120K or 100K to get one, it just doesn't make sense. And now, that being said, car prices have kind of stalled out a lot. Now, some big people, the owner of Cars and Bids or whatever his name, Doug DeMiro, whoever owns whatever thing he owns, he actually said that a lot aren't getting to their reserve price anymore, and he's kind of seeing the market stall out a bit. And if you look on eBay, there's a lot of like F-150s or Rivians that just aren't selling. If you get some of the first, you'll sell them. Yeah. But at this point, no.
One thing we didn't mention earlier, it looks like Tesla has brought back the trade-in.
True. Yeah, I forgot that.
Part of their website. So that was there last year. They went away for a while, but it is back, and that's just a way to kind of get an estimate if you want to potentially trade in a Tesla that you can put in the VIN and give them a little bit of information, and they'll give you a quick estimate.
What's interesting though is they actually give you a range now.
Yeah.
Whereas before it would just give you a dollar amount. Now it's like a range.
And it still seems like a really good range from what we've seen with our potential trade-ins.
Yo, definitely. Real quick, Brent said Ashland, Kentucky Ford has a Lightning with a $30,000 upcharge. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I reached out to them. I'm pretty sure that's one of the ones.
We've tried so many states. I mean, you were talking about Florida. I mean,
I did Florida. I did all across the East Coast. I've done, I think, California.
I mean, Texas.
Texas, couple of them.
Texas was the really close one that we were thinking about flying down there, and then it fell through just because the original purchaser decided to go through.
Exactly. Brent said, look at what the Hummer EVs are selling for. Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, the Hummer EV, I think, has an MSRP of like $110,000. They're selling for $300,000. People are actually paying that. These aren't just bids. Those are paying. But once Hummer starts making more than 5 a week, I'm sure the prices will go down. But yeah. Oh, it was Bill Cole, Ford, and Ashland. I'm pretty sure I already talked to them. I'm not going to lie. I've talked to a lot of Ford dealers over the past couple weeks. But it just... I've also seen, okay, so take this with a grain of salt, but I've also seen people say they tweeted out that their VIN was being shipped from Ford to the dealer. Yeah. And then they followed up with a tweet saying the dealer said it's stuck in shipping or whatever, but then on Ford's website, he plugged in the VIN and it says it's already been delivered. So he's concerned that Ford's giving him the runaround and that dealer sold his car to somebody else for more money.
Probably, yeah, exactly.
It's just the whole, I just don't like dealers. I don't like them at all. So fingers crossed I can get that Rivian soon in the Model X, and I can be super happy with those. Roger said Mary led. She led when it counted. She electrified the nation. Dang. Okay. Anyway, that's kind of my little pedestal rant tonight.
Yeah, and that's it for the news. I mean, we can go ahead and talk about whatever questions and stuff.
Do you want to do the announcement?
I don't care.
Should we do the announcement?
Sure, might as well do it now.
Okay.
It's not Tesla related.
It's not Tesla related, but it is related for us. I don't know if any of you actually in chat know. Maybe a few of you that I've talked to. But I'll have David say it.
No, you can say it. That's okay.
You don't want to say it?
Well,
you say it. You can say it. It's okay.
We've been telling you for like the past year and a half that we need the Model X because we're planning on doing a lot of road trips and we need the extra room. The reason we need the extra room is because we're going to be having a new member of the family, the DÆrik family, for the next 10 months. Basically, we are going to be getting an exchange student, and he arrives in a few weeks, and he will be living with us, and we are planning to take him all around Colorado and the western United States, and we want the Model X for those road trips.
Yeah.
So several of you, Erica tweeted out some hints in the past, and several people were like, "Oh, they're getting."
Actually, though, on the recent Model X video, I said something about like we really need a Model X or something like that, and somebody kind of like got really close.
Yeah, there were a couple people that guessed.
So
they thought like we're having a kid, but
I mean, we kind.
This is a bigger kid. He's like 15 or something like that. So we're jumping right in, you know.
Yeah.
So.
But that's kind of the big announcement.
But yeah, so that's why we've been busy in other things. We're doing household projects, getting things lined up for him, getting his room set up, and you know, we have lots of road trips planned. So hopefully we'll be doing some road trip videos in the Model X and maybe the S, or if we ever get a Rivian, who knows? We'll take it camping. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. So we might. I don't know if we'll have as many live streams going forward, but we'll still try to do them here and there. But if we don't, it's because we're busy out there exploring Colorado, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try to keep live streams going at least some form. Now, I have had some sim companies reach out, and maybe we could do like sim live streams or something as well. So I don't know. We'll have to see how things go. But I mean, we're definitely live stream any chance we get. For sure.
And I see there's a lot of questions in there, a lot of congratulations. Yeah. He's coming from Germany, so he comes from close to the German. We won't give the exact cities from, but close to the German and Belgian.
Just say
border.
Germany.
Yeah, but he's Western Germany. But yeah, and he's excited. He was excited before we told him anything about Teslas or anything like that. He just seems like a really cool kid. He's totally interested in coming to the United States, and we are, when he found out about Teslas and electromobility was the word that he used. He said he was totally into that. So he's all excited to. I think he lucked out, and we lucked out too. So we'll say that.
Yeah, it's definitely a win-win for everybody. Death Shock said, "Is the exchange student a trial run for a new member of the family?"
What do you say? I mean, I don't know, but
you never know. It's
the cool thing I think about exchange students. One of our friends, she works with the organization, and she's like, you can choose the best kids. You don't have to deal with diapers, and you don't have to pay for college. And so yeah, we get to borrow somebody else's kid. They've done all the hard work, and we get to just take them around and show them the country.
What he said.
Yeah.
Real quick, Amy, thank you for. Where's my confetti? Thank you for the $5. She said, hopefully the four-legged redheads get along with the new edition. They totally will. They love like people. Everybody. But that being said, dog cam.
Oh no.
Well, no.
But I'm sure they'll like him. It's just like,
what happened to dog cam?
It was working earlier. Do you have the? But they get so excited. I think once they've seen him a couple times, they'll be okay with him. It's just we got to make sure they don't knock him down and stuff like that. But
yeah.
So he is from Germany. His Germany's really, his English is very good. Our German, I took a little bit of German, so I know a little, but we're supposed to really only speak English with him because that's why he's coming here, is to learn English and to learn the American culture. So we'll be keeping the German to a minimum.
Let's see. Dog cam.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Kit's face is cut off.
Yeah, his head's down there. He's using my feet as a
pillow.
pillow.
No, it's okay. Sorry.
So yeah. What's that?
Oh,
okay.
That's my battery warning because I have a plug-in battery.
Okay. But anyways, yeah, we're excited about that. He's totally interested in going around and doing road trips in the Tesla. So we don't know. Might be seeing him on some future videos.
Yep. Let's see. Roger said, I think Scott was the trial run. Oh, dang, that's so funny, Roger. So funny.
It's funny because on the application we had to
fill
out a real long application, and we had to list Scott, and they have Scott listed as a child. So, and he's like,
it's funny.
He's in his 40s, but
it's funny.
Their system can't handle like other adult members of the household, so they have him listed as a child.
Rob just said he's an exchange student. Are you sending them Scott as an exchange?
Oh, no, that's an idea.
Oh my God, you guys crack me up. But we are really excited. It's something that I think we can show him a lot about the U.S. and incorporate him really well into the family. Your mom lives here in town.
Yeah,
my parents just moved closer.
Yeah, we got lots of family around now.
And we have a lot of fun things planned. It'll be extremely different for both of us because we've never had somebody else to look after, but I think it'll work out really well. He's a great kid. I'm excited. If he wants to be in videos, maybe he will be, and you guys can kind of meet him. But I'm excited, and I hope he can get out of it more than probably expected, just to kind of see everything.
I see Diego saying, "Oh, you
Should
have
be
to
fun.
watch soccer now." Well, Diego, this kid's not into sports, so maybe it was very detailed, the process. We had like a 40-page application or something that the student had to fill out, and so we know like everything about his interests and stuff. At least we think we do. And he didn't express any interest in soccer or football or anything like that.
But I mean, if he wants to,
that's fine if he wants to do it.
Sweet.
Yeah, but there were so many kids that were like all about, they want to play basketball or American football or baseball, stuff like that, and that's fine for all those kids that want to come over and try that. But that's not really, we're not into that stuff like that. So we found a kid that wasn't. He was more into like travel and hiking and cycling and all of our interests and stuff like that. So it was like, first thing he contacted us, he was amazed by how perfect of a match it was. And we've done video calls
and his
with
parents
him,
are
chat with him
awesome
every day, and his parents are great. And so I think it'll be good. They're totally, it'll be cool. But we're really looking forward to it. We've known about him since January. That's when it was finalized, and he will be here in early August.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But we can talk about him later. But if you have any other Tesla questions,
That's just kind of like a life thing that we just figured we'd kind of throw out
Share
there
with
in case you
longtime viewers.
happen to see other people in the background of videos. You're not like, who's that?
Yeah.
It'll make a little bit more sense then. Amy said, speaking of Scott, what's for dinner? Great question. I'm hungry.
I think it's just leftovers because remember your.
I'm eating ice cream cake for dinner then.
Well, we had. Pizza
Speaking
too,
of,
so.
Yesterday was my mother's birthday, so happy birthday, mom, if you're watching. And we got ice cream cake, and we still have some left here, so I'll probably eat ice cream cake if Scott didn't make anything. Let's see. Thanks, Kevin. It should be a lot of fun. Yeah. Let's see. Jack said, have you had experience with FES?
Foreign exchange student. Not yet.
Oh.
Okay, but
Got it, okay.
when I was in high school, I went. My best friend in high school was French, and he was living in the United States because his father worked for Boeing in Wichita. And one summer, they took me over, and I got to spend the summer not as a student, but just living with his family in France that year. And then I loved it so much, best summer of my life up to that point, that the next year I went back on an exchange program, again, just during the summer, so I didn't have to go to school or anything like that, but I lived with a family, and again, tied for the best summer of my life. And those were just some of the best years. And so, recently we saw our friend, actually it was last August, she posted pictures on Instagram, because she's one of the exchange coordinators in our area, and she posted pictures of all the families welcoming the students to the Denver airport. And they they didn't do anything back in like 2020 because of COVID, and they actually had to send students home early. And so it was really exciting to see all these pictures at the beginning of the school year last year. And I kind of just started chatting with her, and she told me all about it. And she said, "Yeah, go ahead and apply. We accept all kinds of families and stuff like that." And so we went through the process, got approved, and we were ready. So no, we have not been foreign exchange students ourselves, but I did do a couple exchanges where I lived with families.
Yeah. And he will be going to the local high school. I saw John, thank you for the $2 super chat. Really appreciate that. Said, how long is he staying in the winter? He'll be here for
the whole
10 months.
Yeah.
So he'll be here till May, early June of next year.
Yeah.
So
some of them do a one semester, either the fall or the spring, but he's staying for the whole year.
Yo.
And it's a good program. We'll have more details if people have questions on future live streams, but it's still new to us. We go to an orientation this week, so we can learn more. But they've been really informative, telling us everything about him and stuff he'll go through. Oh, he's had so many orientations. We've got some. So we're just looking forward to it. I think it'll be a great experience.
Yep. Real quick, Chagog said, I complained 2 weeks ago about not having beta in Boston, and boom, I got it. I went from using it from 1% to 2%. Seriously, it's way better. So all we need to do to get something from Tesla is complain about it. So where's my Model X? Where's my Model?
I don't think so. Because in the past, it seems like that's.
I'm glad you got it though. I have really enjoyed beta actually, so I'm excited.
And
to
we
get
had that on the Plaid.
Yeah.
When we had the Plaid last year, and when the beta was turned on, we had that. We've since sold the Plaid, but like we said, we do have the 2017, and it just needs the cameras. We did upgrade a couple of the cameras ourselves, but it does need like the triple camera as well as the side, the B-pillar cameras upgraded. Well, Tesla will probably swap out those repeater cameras as well, but once we get those swapped out, we should be able to get into full self-driving and hopefully get it turned on relatively quickly.
Yep.
In the beta.
Amy said she'll text us later. We'll get him into good American hobbies. Brent said, does he watch your channel?
I think he's watched some videos. I don't know if he's watched them all, but we've shared some videos. And
we've shared a few.
It's funny though, because there's some videos we send him the link to, and then after we send him the link, there's some stuff that maybe he shouldn't have seen. But I mean, he's 15, but
I mean, it's different in Europe, right?
Yeah, they're more mature there. But it's just it's funny because we send him one, and then right in the video you say, "Oh, this isn't kid friendly," and we're like, "Oops, we already sent it to him. He already watched it."
What video was that?
That was when we went to Pikes Peak.
Oh yeah, God,
we were talking about
throwback.
Pikes Peak, and he's wanting to go to the top of Pikes Peak and stuff like that. And I was like, "Hey, we have."
They
a
had
video
some
for that.
not safe for work things in the gift shop that I may or may not have.
They were just some,
anyway.
like,
You know what? It's cool. It happens.
some very unique like canned koozies, or
Yeah.
we'll say koozies, but they weren't koozies.
Diego said a German that doesn't like soccer, something's up. Is he a Volkswagen spy? Oh my God, can you imagine? We'll ask. No, I'm just kidding.
We saw one of the Volkswagen EVs. Remember the SUV, the ID, was it ID4 or something like that? Where did we see that the other day? And I was like, that looked pretty nice. We need to go check those out. So maybe
I don't
we should
remember.
go, like,
I don't know. We were actually like just kind of just randomly talking the other day, and we're like, what if I got like an electric Mini Cooper and just whipped that around until Tesla got us our X? And then I was like, well, you know, immediately after I buy something, Tesla's gonna show up with the X. So maybe that's what it's gonna take to get the X. Is I have to buy something else, and then they'll be like, well, here you go. I don't know. I just really want the Model X. We have so many things already sitting in that garage for the Model X. We are locked and ready to go. Let's see. Michael said, I got my LTE upgrade. Works fine, but I have to reset the screen now at least twice a day for it to work.
That's
Any
weird.
suggestions? Yeah. I would Tesla fill that out in the app and have them look at that, because that's not right.
Some connection not right, or some setting maybe not right in the firmware that, because shouldn't be having issues like that, because they've been doing firmware updates for years, like 5 years, right?
Yeah.
So they shouldn't be having issues like that. So I would definitely contact them and see.
I agree. That's definitely not something you should have to be doing. Something isn't right. So yeah. Chame. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Said, I had a German exchange student neighbor growing up, very opinionated, but she learned a lot from observing her surroundings. Goodish experience. I mean, we've talked to his parents a ton, him a lot. We've video called. I think this is going to be great for kind of everyone involved. And the big thing is I just want to show him kind of what it's like here. Yep. Take him around, show him everything. It should be kind of fun. Tech and Stuff said, I got a 2017 Model X 90D with FSD. Side cameras, I think, is almost like black and white. Is there an upgrade for that? Yeah,
and that's one thing that we did. We did a video on that a couple of years ago. Basically, you can buy newer cameras, which are the same ones they have on like 2020 vehicles, 2019. Well, basically, when Autopilot 2.5 came out, they had the better color on them. They're still not like full color like you would see in like the rear view camera, but they're better than the cameras that Autopilot 2 came with. And you can upgrade those yourself, but now that if you do already own FSD, which you said you do, Tesla offers a camera upgrade. They will upgrade those 2 repeater cameras, the 2 B-pillar cameras, as well as swap out your triple camera up there under the windshield. And then you'll have better color all around. And that camera upgrade is needed in order to get that FSD beta. And so you just try filling out a service request and see if you can do it. There is a caveat that on the website, I don't know if we have the link for the website, but they do mention that it's like on an invitation basis.
Yeah.
And that you have to have like a certain score on the safety score. But we've been waiting, I think it's been over a year or so since they announced that. and we never got the invitation, so we went ahead and just tried filling out a service visit, and they said, okay, fine, and scheduled us for it. Then they went and checked. They didn't have the parts in stock, so they've ordered them, and we should be getting those. They should be in stock, end of this week, beginning of next week, and we'll have our service visit to get those replaced. So you can try filling it out in the app, see if you can just request those cameras, because if you already own full self-driving, you should qualify to get those cameras upgraded.
Yep, definitely. Let's see. Kevin asked if we already have a wrap decal ideas for the Model X. Can't imagine you'll leave it stock for long. No. We're gonna be doing some stuff to the exterior. Actually, it's gonna be a lot to the exterior now that I think about it, and a little bit to the interior. It's gonna be. I'll just say this. It'll be a very tasteful body kit. One that you probably haven't seen before. It'll be really nice. I'm very excited for the Model X. Diego said bring them to the Grand Canyon. Definitely on our list of things to do. Amy said, okay, we'll road trip down and bring the Offspring. You can stop twisting my arm. We would love to have you down here, Amy, for sure.
And we're definitely going to keep him busy.
And we might be up there too.
But we want him to keep busy at school, make some friends.
Yeah.
And if he wants to hang out with his friends, definitely all for it. But we're hoping that he'll hang out with us a lot, and we'll be able to show him around.
Yep. Let's see. Pierre typed dot. Did I miss something from Pierre? Let me scroll up a little bit. If I did miss it, Pierre, apologies.
He wrote again a couple sentences later, so I don't know.
Oh, he did. Okay.
I don't know if he continued. But he wrote
let's see. Called my advisor and requested to switch my long-range Model X to a Plaid, delivery in 6 months. 10 minutes later, I was called to see if I can pick it up next day.
Yeah, see, just like that. Surprise.
So here's my thing. I would love a Plaid Model X, but I also have a lot of plans of what I could do with $40,000 because that is the difference in price. So I would rather not get a Plaid Model X because, like we said, we want it for a road trip vehicle, which means
a little more range.
Range is key. So I really want the long range over a Plaid. I actually was offered a Plaid at the end of June. We did decline it though because yes, it would have cost us a lot more money.
Waited this long for
yeah,
the long
true.
Range, so it's just like we just want what we ordered.
Okay, but Pierre didn't say if he got it or not though.
Oh. Yeah.
Did you take delivery of it, Pierre? That is the question of the hour. Terry said, "Is the S and X the only cars losing the energy graph?" As of right now, yes. It's only on the new ones.
And again, it wasn't officially available.
True.
You had to use the microphone button to see it, and so that was probably just a mistake that people figured out that you can access it that way, and then the developers probably found out everybody was using it, and they're like, wait a minute, we haven't formatted it yet. It doesn't look right. It takes up the full screen. It's missing some headers and stuff like that. So I think they turned it off until they can fix it and bring it back. So hopefully we'll be seeing it in the next month or so, and full blown correct formatting and everything, because it is so useful on road trips, because
it's really great
if you're driving into the wind or something like that. It's like Tesla has upgraded the firmware recently so that the Trip Navigator does a better job taking weather and wind and stuff into account, but it's still nice when you're driving in between superchargers. And out here where we live, like on western Kansas and stuff, there's some long stretches between superchargers, and you're heading uphill and into the wind, and you can greatly affect your estimated arrival state of charge. And there's been times where it's been really close, and that energy graph just helps you have that peace of mind knowing that if I slow down by this much, I'm going to have an extra 10% or 5% and be able to make it without any worrying.
Definitely. Mike CTV said, I have a 2022 Plaid X, hate the rear seats. Can I buy a standard rear bench and switch them out? So I don't fully know where the bench hooks in. I would assume yes, but at that same assumption, Tesla would have to somehow change a seat configuration on the back end to make sure that like the seatbelt buckle things work. I don't know if there's a different wiring harness that they use. I would reach out to Tesla and check with them first.
I doubt it's going to be cheap though. Because
oh no, it definitely would not be.
Those seats are not cheap. Unfortunately. And then the labor, I'm sure it's possible, but I haven't heard of anybody doing that themselves. Because as Eric said, there's probably some flag you need to set in the firmware to tell it that have the 6-seater instead of the 5-seater. So
yeah, it's a great idea though. I know where you're coming from with that. Let's see. Michael with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate that. Said, did you see a company that hacked the Plaid to go over 200 miles an hour?
Yeah.
I did. And I am extremely jealous. I would love to hit 200, David, earmuffs. I would love to hit 200 plus in a Tesla.
On a racetrack.
Oh, of course.
Controlled.
It's once you hit 200 miles an hour, it can be pretty sketchy. But under the right conditions, I would love to be able to experience that. I give them props. That is definitely a feat. And it shows it's obviously very doable. Now, I don't remember if they switched out their rims and tires. Hopefully they did. But yeah, definitely very cool. Let's see. Where am I? Mark said, I had to take my 2017 S100D in for a steering issue, had the FSD computer installed, added some fun features, but not impressed with autopilot's behavior. Some better, some worse. Yeah, I mean, give it a little while. I know we've noticed that sometimes after new updates, it can act a little funky for a few days. So hopefully it'll settle down for you.
But for the most part, though, I'm pretty happy with S100D. When taking on road trips and stuff, I just love the auto lane change. But since we already have it on the S100D, it's like I don't know if I need to buy it on the 22 Model S, just because it's like that's a lot of money to spend. It's like, well, I could just take the other car, you know.
Oh yeah, totally.
Definitely like it on road trips, so.
Yep. Roger said you have to bring him to Yellowstone. That would be great. Amy said don't pet the fluffy cows.
Yeah, we saw there's been a few instances recently where people have gotten a little too close to the wildlife.
A little too close. And then Amy said we could meet up at Old Faithful. That would be fun.
We were actually had a chat about geysers.
Yeah, we did.
Just like a week or two ago. And then he was like, are there any geysers in Colorado? And I researched and I found there's one like way out in southwestern Colorado, but it's not really much of a geyser.
It's not really, yeah.
It's kind of like a little like
bubble.
pool that bubbles every once in a while. So it doesn't it's nothing like you'll see in Wyoming.
Yeah.
Or Iceland, like we saw in Iceland last
Oh, yeah, that was awesome. Tech and Stuff said, nice, thanks for the tips. I live in Norway, so FSD beta isn't here yet.
Yeah.
Don't think I will get the cam upgrade now.
They don't have that outside of the United States right now. Sorry, we didn't know you weren't in the U.S., so you'll probably have to wait a little while longer on that. But it is something. Okay, so if you want to get those cameras upgraded, you can do that yourselves. We bought some. You can either buy them directly from Tesla, or you can buy them, online from some vendors. But we found that the online vendors were selling them for a lot more than if we just bought them directly from Tesla. So I believe we bought ours. Yeah,
direct from Tesla.
And it was for us. Was it like $130 each or something for the repeater cameras?
Yeah,
it's been a couple
something
years.
like that.
I don't remember, but you could place an order with Tesla and you could swap out those cameras yourself. We've got a video. You just basically just pop them off, reconnect the cable, and they'll start working. And the color will be better. So if you do use not the dash cam, the Sentry mode and stuff, or even in the dash cam, when you use the viewer, you'll see that the color is better on those.
Yep. Let's see. Steven said, I don't believe they're giving FSD beta to Model S without inside camera. We have 2 Model S with camera upgrades last October, November. Scores 95 plus, no FSD beta.
They are, but not
a ton.
Because like I had my S90D, which was from 2016, and originally only bought that with enhanced autopilot. But when I sold it back in 2019, the new owner decided to buy full self-driving when it was on sale, and so he bought it. Took a while. He did get the camera upgrades, but then he was able to he just recently, I think in the past month, they did give him the FSD beta. So they are rolling it out to some of those cars that had the camera upgrade, even without the internal camera. It's just
not as many.
It's not that you're going to get it overnight or something like that, but they did turn on FSD beta for a lot of people last month, and several people in the thread that I've been reading that have those older vehicles did get it.
David responded, my friend has a 2017 X and got FSD beta, no cap and camera.
There, so they'll do it.
It might just take a little bit longer. Pierre said he did take delivery of the Plaid Model X on June 30th.
Well, congratulations.
Yes, congrats. I am not jealous at all. I'm very jealous. Let's see. Roger said, what's sad is that I grew up about 130 miles from Yellowstone and haven't been back since I was like 3. So the time is now then, Roger.
Yeah.
The time is now.
There might be some problems with that one road, I think.
Oh, right. The washed out road.
But there's other ways. There's other entrances.
Yeah.
So definitely we're hoping to make it up there sometime in the next year.
Yep. John said 200 miles an hour from Minneapolis to Duluth on I-35 is not a problem.
Did you thank Michael for the super chat? But I can't remember.
Yes,
Okay.
we talked
I
about the
remember we talked
200.
about 200, but
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah. Diego said, did you see Mace's new video taking on Lucid Air Edition?
Oh.
Smoked him. Yep, I saw that. And then he also got to race a Rivian at the track. I'll have to show you those videos later.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen that.
I saw him on Facebook. I don't know if he tweeted them out.
Yeah, but yeah, we've known Mace for years. So
Yeah,
cool.
Mace
I
is
wanna
one
check
of
that
the
out.
super OGs of the channel.
Probably like 5 years or something like that. Yeah.
He is a super OG. So yeah, it was cool to see him. But he definitely smoked that Lucid Air though. That's. Did we expect anything
And
less
that was in
though?
his plaid that he brought out here, right?
Yeah.
He's been out here and visited us, and we got to see he's got a really
Yep.
nice wrap on his. It's kind of like a matte, but it's got some like.
No, it's the gloss color shit. It's Prism.
Okay, that's what I meant. Yeah, yeah. But it was like the color, like with the sun, it was hitting it just right, and the color was really nice.
Yeah. John said, I thought Yellowstone was shut down, and then Roger said, last I knew they were letting people into the park based on ending numbers of their license
interesting.
plate
What if
and
we don't have
motorcycles
letters?
every other day. What?
Yeah. What if we don't have letters in our license plate?
Then we automatically get in.
Yay. But yeah, I know that Yellowstone was shut down for a while, but not all of the roads to the park are closed, and so I think the northern one, up there by Montana, is where they had the flooding and stuff. But
Yeah.
there's still other ways to get in.
Yep.
But like Roger says, it sounds like it's limited access now.
Yeah. Helmut said, I have FSD beta on my 2017 Model X for months already. Love that.
So yeah, definitely it's out there.
Roger said the flooding was insane and it hit a lot of towns here near Montana as well. Red Lodge got destroyed from the day we picked up our daughter from band camp.
Yikes.
Ooh, yikes. That's really sad. Glad you got her out okay, though. That's really bad. Mark said traffic light control is a no-go in Australia. Doesn't understand the insanely stupid Aussie traffic lights. All lanes together in one housing, repeated in 3 locations.
Interesting. We'll have to go watch a video.
We do watch a lot of like dash cam videos on YouTube, and the Australian ones are by far my favorite because the way they curse and everything, I love them, and if somebody calls someone a wanker, I'm gonna laugh at it. It's just the way it's gonna be.
They often use other words that are more extreme than that, but we can't.
I can actually say that one though on this channel.
That one, but not the other.
Yeah, but it's just so funny. So we'll have to pay attention to the
'cause I
stoplights.
guess I've been to Australia, but it was many years ago, and I don't remember this traffic light, so we'll have to go back and check out and see what those look like.
Yeah. Real quick, John donated $5.
Thanks again, John.
Thanks so much, John. It said, I lived in Germany for 2 years. Love the
Autobahn.
Do you think about having Autobahn on toll roads? I mean, I love the Autobahn too, but when I was there, I did not see the sign that said it ended, and I am now going into
Belgium or whatever.
Belgium.
Yeah, oops.
And your boy got a hell of a speeding ticket. It was a camera radar. Yeah, that was me.
Oops.
It was on a business trip. Luckily, it was my own business, so like I didn't have like a boss or someone see it. But they mailed me a ticket. The rental car company did,
In the United States, several weeks later.
Yeah, several weeks later, and I think I had to pay like $200 or $250. Totally worth it, but it was so funny. I guess I missed when it ended and whatever. But to be honest, a lot of the speeds in the United States were generated to help save gas mileage.
Back in the day. I remember
Back in the day.
55 saves lives.
There you go.
I remember those, and I can remember driving 55, and it just took forever. So I don't remember when I moved to Colorado, they increased it to like 65, and then...
And you're like, yeah!
And then to like 70 and 75, and it's like...
But some places, like through Utah, is 85.
Yeah.
In some places. And like I feel like 85 is comfortable, is good. But
places.
again, you still need to kind of think about fuel efficiency and safety. I don't know.
Yeah. But also, too, it's like with the superchargers in Utah going west,
Yeah.
they're pretty far apart, so...
You got to be careful.
You can't drive... I mean, you can still do 80, 85 or whatever and still make it, we know. But
I've done the race car through Utah several times, and I had some fun with those roads.
But I can remember tracking you on the app and being like, "Oh, he arrived. He's got 2 miles of range left." As he pulls into the supercharger, and it's like
that was me. I like to get to a supercharger at basically E.
And that does help in some ways if you have the battery low like that. It definitely can help you to do just what's it called where you just splash and dash?
Yeah,
Where
so
you just-
oftentimes I would only fill up to maybe 50%, just enough to get to another supercharger or maybe skip one. I would never charge beyond like 80. I don't think I ever did beyond that.
It depends, because again, when we've gone to like South Dakota down to central Nebraska, we've had to
You
charge up
do.
to like 100% because there are no North Star superchargers. Speaking of superchargers, though, we did stop by the Superior, Colorado supercharger again today.
Yeah.
Hadn't been there since they shut it down and since they had the fire back in December. And there was many of you know there was a Tesla service center there. They shut it down. It wasn't burned down. They had a little bit of damage, but most of it was water damage. But it looks like they are rebuilding that service center. The supercharger did open several weeks ago, maybe months ago, and so we tested it out today, and it's working fine. They do have 2 of them closed off just because of for construction traffic and stuff like that. But the other ones are all open, and we plugged in, got 250 kilowatts just like that. So it's working again. So if you're in the area,
Here's some
check it out.
photos real quick. This used to be a full-fledged, fully operational service center, and now it has been basically taken down to the bare
Yeah,
studs.
and rebuilding it. So yeah, we have pictures from a couple of years ago when they first built this building. It was only around for about a year
Before they lost
It
it.
was a really nice service center, but then yeah, they had to gut it, and now they're rebuilding it. So it'd be nice to get that one back up there for that part of the metro area.
Oh, should I tell them about what happened this weekend?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, random thing. We went to the casino this weekend because obviously we're going to be having a child soon.
Yeah.
Won't be able to go as often. And I mean, I guess we're not having a child, but a child will be living with us.
Yeah.
And so I was playing some gambling. Did I post it? No, I didn't even post it anywhere. And I hit a $650 payday.
Woohoo.
It was quite fun. But on the downside, it was a $10 bet. So it was a lot of money. But I hit $650 and I came home with more money than I went with. So that is a win in my book. I gamble at your own risk. Rob said, what is the X config you're waiting for? White exterior, white interior, 20-inch rims, long range. I guess I should have started with that. 6-seat config. FSD.
Yep.
Is that it?
Yep.
I feel like I'm missing something.
No, that's it.
Okay, that's it.
And we will be doing lots of upgrades, both interior
And exterior.
We already have- I'm excited about the interior one, and many of you might know what that will be already, if you've watched some of the Model S videos. But we'll have some exterior ones as well.
Yeah.
And here's an update. And
Oh.
I think that's why Kit went upstairs.
Do we need a breaking news?
No.
Oh, okay. It's not breaking
But
news. Okay.
I think that's why Kit went upstairs. It sounds like, or it smells like, Scott is making dinner after all.
Oh, he messaged me and said it's baked ziti with garlic bread.
And I can smell the garlic.
I can smell the garlic.
Yeah.
It smells delicious. So we'll probably have to wrap up soon because Eric getting hungry.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we had. Roger said the road across from her hotel got washed out. Super rare event.
And also, so that's where Roger and Amy took delivery of their second Model Y at the Superior Service
Oh, it's
Center.
Superior,
And
yeah.
I think they said they stayed in the hotel, right?
Yes, they did.
That
I
hotel
picked
was
them up.
totally burned down. And
They actually leveled everything now, so it's
yeah,
completely
it's
gone.
And we were up in the neighborhood. My uncle just recently moved to Louisville, and so we were up there, and we saw lots of streets where they're all blocked off still because of the houses that were destroyed, and their limited access. So it's really unfortunate that happened, but it's good to see that some people are able to start, rebuild their house and get back to normal.
Yeah. Let's see. John said you have to think about the structural integrity of the car. Some cars would blow apart at 80 miles an hour.
Yeah, I can remember.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
My first car was a Dodge, and it felt like it was gonna.
Did you
blow
get the
up.
speed wobbles?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, older cars were
even my
notorious
CR-V,
for that.
Even my CRV, which was a 97. My Dodge was
Yeah.
85, but my CRV was 97. If you got over like 72,
Yeah.
it felt like it was just gonna fall apart. And I mean, I still drove that car for 20 years, but you just could not drive it fast.
Yeah. Kevin said that was one of the nicer looking service centers too. I
Yeah,
agree.
it
It was really really nice.
From what we can tell, it looks like they're rebuilding it
Yo.
the exact same footprint. I don't know if they've even had to take down the structure. It looks like the steel structure was still fine. But we were trying to decide today: are they going to put that beetle kill wood on the outside? Because it did look nice around the Tesla logo where they had beetle kill wood, but that's like the only part that actually burned. So we were wondering if they're going to put rock or or something out there on the outside of the building.
Yeah.
We'll see. But
Yeah,
it
hopefully
might-
they still keep with that nice aesthetic though, because it looked good.
It was a nice looking building.
Yeah. Diego keeps saying July 27th for
That'd
the
be
Model
nice.
X delivery.
I just really hope,
I would love that.
I just really hope it's before the 20. Well,
can't-
before the 4th, I guess, because if
Yeah.
you're gonna be gone, watch it be August 5th.
Oh my God! If it's August 5th,
Or August
I
4th,
swear to God,
When you're out
Tesla,
of
don't
town
do
for
this.
the shareholder meeting.
Don't do this to me,
I
Tesla.
I guess I could go pick it up, but it'd be better if it was either before that week or what if we did it afterwards when our exchange student is here? I'm
Yeah.
sure he'd be glad to be part of that.
Yeah.
If we just say, hey, we're gonna go on a ride.
Come on, let's just go for a quick ride. Come home with another vehicle. Lol. John said my Tesla service center in
So don't
Minnesota.
anybody tell him about that yet.
Oh yeah. Oh, what if he's watching?
Uh-oh.
We didn't think that through. Anyway, John said his Tesla service center was an old Hummer dealership back in the day.
A rock climbing. Oh, yeah.
So that's actually kind of interesting. Boy, have the times changed. A Hummer dealership becomes a Tesla service center. Full turn there. I think that's pretty much it. We got caught up with everything. We did our special announcement. Huge thanks to all the support in chat. We really do appreciate it. It'll be interesting. We're very excited though.
Yeah.
Very excited.
So we'll probably be back next week.
Yes, definitely.
The 17th, and then we'll have another one
On the 20th.
20th. So the 17th might not be as long or whatever, or who knows, but we'll try to be back for that, and then definitely we'll have something the week after that, and then we'll
Yeah.
see. We don't know about the August 4th yet, just with that shareholder meeting, but and also the 7th. Maybe not on the 7th. We'll just go throw that out there, but you never know.
Yeah,
We'll
you never
just play
know.
it by ear. We'll let you know.
Yeah. Keep an eye on Twitter. I'm gonna start announcing lives kind of like the day of on there, and make sure I get them scheduled early in the morning so that people have a chance to set that reminder and everything. But I guess that's pretty much it. Huge thanks to everyone for hanging out. Again, thanks for the super chats. Definitely not necessary, but really do appreciate you guys. As well as, oh, that's the confetti.
Hey, one other update we might just fill
yeah.
in. Remember
Oh.
the time capsule?
Oh, the time capsule was sent. I need to post that on Twitter. Thank you for reminding me. I will post that.
Basically, the SpaceX time capsule
That everyone submitted photos
we
for.
had successfully been allowed to update like 15 gigabytes of videos and pictures and stuff. And so Eric tweeted out, I don't know how many pictures you got, but we uploaded all of those as well as a bunch of our own. And so those were met the deadline, and once Tesla or SpaceX announces that, we'll let you know. But
Yeah.
those will be sent up into space.
Yep. Again though, huge chat to our channel, or huge shout out. Oh my God, I can't talk. To our channel sponsor, Abstract Ocean. If you haven't yet, check them out. All linked down below, and using code Tesla Inventory will get you 15% off of your first purchase. All kinds of really cool, fun, useful accessories. But I guess that pretty much ends it for today. We will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for hanging out. Really do appreciate it.
Nice to be back. Nice seeing you again.
Yep. We'll
Thanks.
see y'all next week.